Thank you for joining me on Cherie's weight loss journey. Today we're out and about early. No, not early, but according to my schedule, it's early. What I need to let y'all know we're still in a no-fly zone, right? The messages are today is there's a panic. And I know you're like, what panic? Well, the panic is that, when some people are drowning, they panic, right? They're fighting and splashing around, trying to not drown, but the more they splash around, the more water fills their lungs. Okay? So this is kind of what is going on right now. Okay? Because for a lot of people, change is hard. You have to understand that, that there were men who had dedicated themselves to other men and were allowed themselves to be exploited, and they can't believe that the men that they have dedicated themselves to weren't the God that they thought they were. Okay? Now, let me tell you, the God that I'm speaking about is a little G, right? A gangster, right? It's a fake God. And, this is how, a lot of these men who had these worshipers, got beside themselves and decided, to legalize, homosexuality. This was supposed to promise to these men that their dedication and loyalty and submissiveness was going to allow them to benefit prosperity, after this, little G dies, right? But, yeah, the problem is they're not marrying their loyal subjects. They're not. And and even if they put it in a will, wills can be amended for sure. Okay? Or they have what they call like voidable wills, contestable wills. Yeah. So there's a lie that has been offered. And this lie, is upsetting the rainbow community, because they were like, what do you mean? And based off of that, they're realizing that, they weren't paid enough. Okay, they weren't paid enough for the type of loyalty that they were demanding. Because this loyalty that they were demanding was definitely life-altering. Okay? And yeah. And I know you're saying, why would anybody do this? Well, they figured that by the time it came time for the will, that their loyal subjects will have been martyred. Yes. So and a lot of them are starting to realize, that they had been mere pawns in a wicked game. And that's true. That's true. They are mere pawns in a wicked game. And that's one of the reasons why the Bible verse that I put out today was Psalms 27. So that you can up your protection game. Okay? Because, like I said, drowning people had a tendency to panic. Before they before they drown. Let me see something. I was gonna walk here, but I don't want to walk here. It just amazes me how many people, have freedom to be out and about. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I worked 50 years to have this kind of semi-retirement freedom. And yet these people out here, they have the freedom that I have. And I'm like, and they're young. And I'm like, what's really going on? What's really going on? And of course, I'm like, these are people that, are trying to hack the system, right? They want to be retired in their 20s. They want to be retired in their 30s. They want to be retired in their 40s. They want to be retired in their 50s. Now, 50, around 50, you do start to get ill, in Asia, they do retire their 55-year-old citizens. And yeah, we did it at one time. And of course, so many people fought against that, as if, you can't be retired and, with the wisdom and work experience that you gain, that, you become, entrepreneurial, right? Which is basically like what they do in, developing countries, right? When their seniors retire, they usually open up a shop or, become a merchant of some sort. But, you have a lot of people who, even after, 30 some years of working, they haven't acquired the knowledge of entrepreneurship. So they cling to their jobs that they have held as long as possible. Which, the young people, are like, look, you should, you should have wisdom. You should have experience and the knowledge, to be able to sustain yourself, allow, the younger people the opportunity to begin their journey, and embark on their, pathway of gaining experience and wisdom. And the main reason why, the older people don't release or want to release their jobs is because a lot of them, has squandered their money and has squandered their investments, and yeah. So right now we're all, suffering financially because of our economy, because of our spiritual resume has made, the dollar decline in value. It's limiting our access to countries. So, our passport, uh, has to, go through approvals that it didn't have to go through before, right? There was a time, because America was a viable country, we were allowed access, to go to different countries. And now, these countries are like, they don't want what we're offering. And I'm not saying I'm included in that, but it's what, America stands for. And the inhumanity, the lack of empathy, the lack of ethics, and the way that they strive for inequity is so profound that they're, they're feeling as if, America is unworthy. Now, I'm going to tell you, not everybody, is included. Just because when they say, oh, America, well, we're talking about these movers and shakers being unethical, right? Because even when we think of this strike on our borders, right? Let's remember, they're doing work on the Panama Canal, okay? Because the Panama Canal is undergoing renovation. That, of course, has affected, our ports, our logistics. That alone, okay? And another problem that we're having is, because of the internet, people are able to purchase merchandise from abroad, and the logistics have been fairly, timely, right? You can get your items, within, 2 weeks to 3 weeks, right? And this has, caused the competition in America to say, well, if you buy here in America, you can get your items within a day or two, right? I'm smiling because Walmart had offered free express delivery where I got my groceries delivered in an hour, okay? And that was great. Absolutely great. It was accurate, timely, and yeah, got my groceries delivered in an hour. There is a lot of people on the streets. So yeah, we are out and about. Gasoline here is about $2.50 a gallon. We have a lot of people feeling, the freedom to ride. That's a lot of traffic. That's a lot of traffic. So yeah, I'm going to avoid the traffic. F you traffic. And take another route. So yeah. So we have a lot of people who, like I said, are drowning and panicking because they are drowning. Instead of panicking, you need to read the book of Psalms 27. You can take my advice or not. But lashing out and panicking, it's kind of like worry, right? Where, they'll tell you, worrying about a situation is not going to make the situation, go away. The situation is not going to go away. So, I'm smiling right now because I had received a message from my sister-in-law, and she had informed me that her and my brother have been married for 18 years. I'm like, wow, that's nice, and I congratulated her and I thanked her that, they have been taking care of themselves. And now, it hasn't been easy for them. It has not. I'm not going to go that way. So anyway, please be advised that please be advised that you need to protect yourself. You need to protect yourself both spiritually and physically. Because in our no-fly zone, This was implemented on purpose, with purpose. And so many will try to do things on the earth. And let's be real. No one, wants to no one wants to be martyred, and no one wants to be sacrificed. And the spirit realm is not going to accept sacrifices. You have people that don't believe that. They want to believe what they want to believe. And yeah. So there is a lot of people out and about. They all can't be door dashing. Uber Eats or Lyft or and like I said, it is a form of panic that they are doing, because just like in 1999 when they thought the world was coming to an end. The world is coming to an end, right? Well, it's not like change doesn't seem like death, right? But even transformation is on purpose, with purpose, right? To evolve is a natural selection. So when you see that people are trying to stop evolution, they're also trying to stop progress. And I know if you're like me, you're like, well, why would they stop progress? Because a lot of them are invested in corruption. A lot of them have given up the ghost. Okay? So they feel like what they had invested in is now a complete loss. So they're panicking. Looking, to stay afloat. Okay? Now, let me tell you something. These people were told to float many years back. They were told to float many years back. It's like, hey, you need to float. Stop. Just stop, right? And they were like, no. We're not going to stop, and over my dead body will I ever accept change. And, the universe said, oh, say less. Say less. And, wow. I'm thinking about going back and taking a picture of all of those skulls. They have skulls all over the yard, the house, the roof, the vents. I'm like, my God, But, oops. This is kind of what happens when, people invest, in debt instead of investing in life. So yeah, you would almost think today was a holiday the way all of these people are out here riding about. But I mean, dang, why not? Gasoline is $2.50. The weather is 85 degrees at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes we just want a piece of this, great weather. The sky is blue, right? Barely a cloud in the sky. Yeah. A lot of times we just want a piece of this nice weather. So yeah, kind of zigzagging my way to wherever it is that I'm trying to get to. And I'm very happy about that. Like I said, for sure, I want to take a walk. My God, the way that people have invested in decorating their lawns with gore, it's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Now, maybe these people did take a vacation day or PTO. To go and early vote and wish for, a better life. mean, we all want a better life, right? I am seeing more brick homes being painted, right? It makes me think that, painting my house would be a good option. And an additional layer of insulation. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. For real, for real. Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of brick homes painted brick. And I'm like, yeah. So now, of course, I talk about, protecting yourself. Well, needless to say, some want to invent another catastrophic event to occur, which, in my opinion, is ridiculous, right? That they feel like a catastrophic event will make the world a better place. It's like, what? What kind of reasoning are you? Like I told you, a lot of these people, they have their wires crossed. They've been doing drugs. They've been doing alcohol. Basically, gave up on love, gave up on believing that God truly exists. Oh my gosh. I started watching, that movie Dogma, and I was like, oh, this sardonic ridiculousness I cannot handle. And I couldn't even watch a half an hour of, that movie Dogma. And yet, almost 1 million people have watched that movie in 4 months, right? And this was, when this was put out, it had to be put out back in, like maybe 1990s or early 2000s. And they talked about the angelic realm, while also ridiculing the angelic realm. So I might go back and try to watch it again. But honestly, I did not enjoy watching it. It wasn't funny to me. It was kind of blasphemous, because you had people who were stating that they believe in God, but then they behaved wickedly against other people. And I was like, wow, I can't take too much of this, because I'm watching it all the time, where people are hypocrites, stating that, they believe that, God exists, but, they act as if, God is an absentee parent. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? That you think that God is an absentee parent? Right. How do you justify, that type of belief system when, God is the beginning and the end? Right? But, when it comes to the devil, they sure do give the devil a lot more credit, right? And they'll sit up there and they'll say, oh yes, God threw the devil down to the earth and this was his realm. Well, the devil has a job. The devil has a job of, proving the disloyalty of mankind. That's his job. Okay? And if God wanted to take the devil out, the devil would no longer exist. Okay? So this is what he doesn't understand. I mean, this is what man doesn't understand. They don't understand that it is the devil's job to force people to take a side. To force people who want to be wicked and evil to give up their virtues. Not that, you all will sit up there and think that you're going to be loyal subjects of the devil. To me, that's the funniest thing of all, that you would think, oh, the devil wants me to be wicked, I'm going to be a loyal subject to the devil, and the devil is tricking you, lying to you, and getting you to give up your ghost. Okay? So, yeah. I hope that, you understand what I'm saying. If you don't, then you don't. But that's just the way it is. When it comes to the mega, we'll just call them the mega evil spirits. Now, we have a lot of demonic entities, cults, seculars, that believe, the world is theirs for the taking. And yeah, you're gonna take, and you're gonna get a lot of shit taken away from you too, right? What comes around goes around. And these people feel like, they can defy natural law. And we're like, well, if you could defy natural law, then, seems to me you should have been able to float when we told you to float. Seems to me you should be able to self-levitate. Right? You're going to defy natural laws. Yeah. So, I cannot even explain the traffic that is out here today. The one thing that I'm glad about is I don't see a lot of people walking. So that's a good thing, because the predators are out, right? And some of them are looking for a victim to abduct and seduce over the weekend. And yeah, this is what they do, right? They are not in control of their vessel. They're being led by their lower nature, and they like it. And they are not wanting to change that. They don't care that they hurt the families that have spent 2 decades trying to raise their children, sacrificing resources and keeping these children safe. It's all about their pleasure. They don't care if they have to impregnate mentally ill females and leave these mentally ill females with children. They don't care if the females that they have sex with are underdeveloped, that they are unequipped to sustain themselves or the children that they leave them with, that they feel like is the woman, the female's fault. For being their victim, and think that all they have to do is just accuse her of not being a good mother. It's like, yeah, but you know, you impregnated a teenager. You impregnated a pre-tween. And now you have the audacity to call her a bad mother because she is left to take care of children. Make it make sense to me, right? And then the ones that are of age, you know, they're bombarding them with the drugs and the alcohol that they like to party with. And these women, you know, they're losing their minds because, you know, of course, you know, once, you know, these women are unable to function or have become addicts, you know, they set them up with, you know, their homeboys, right? Because in their minds, it's like ain't no fun unless the homies can have some. So they set them up with their friends and associates, right? Here in Texas, they just took down 9 bars in Houston associated with sex trafficking, right? This is, you know, what I was talking about when I was saying that you know, the illicit activities, you know, that occur in the background of places where groups of people meet. And this includes the church, right? And you can't tell these people to save their life that what they're doing is wrong, because, you know, right after they, you know, they leave, you know, your sight, they become like, you know, delinquent, incorrigible children, even though they're grown adults. So a lot of people will say, well, they're just being childish, you know, but at some point, you know, you go beyond just being immature and childish, and you go into a form of retardation. And if it's compounded with drugs, alcohol, or wicked, evil practices, you know, for sure you're going to be, you know, suffering, you know, definite and probably permanent mental illness. I know a lot of men, you know, you know, they feel like all they need to do is just tap into the religious teachings, but the religious teachings is the baseline aspect of spirituality. Many of them, they go to church and they never ever achieve hearing the voice of God, and they believe that other people are just faking it. So they fake that the voices that they hear in their head, which is their ego, is the voice of God. And they justify that by stating that aren't they truly made in the image of God? Yeah. And it's like, just because you're made in the image of God, and mankind has a meme that says, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's a duck. Okay? And that's not true. I can tell my dog, that, she's a spirit just like I am. But she's at a different level in her evolution than I am. And so there you have it. She's in training so that, in her next lifetime of evolution, that she will have learned a lot. I'm gonna go by and see if they have a prescription ready for me. That's what I'm gonna go do. Anyway, I enjoy just riding around, enjoying this hot temperature of now 87 degrees. Later on, I'm gonna have to buy some more salad dressing. I guess somebody else took out Somebody else must have took out the signal lights at that intersection back there. I'm telling you, the recklessness is unbelievable. Right? Where these people, I don't know if they think their driving skills is similar to a driving simulation. But the unpredictability, occurs within the other people also that are on the road. Right? Just like, yesterday, I was watching videos of police chases. And anyway, regular citizens got involved for sure. Truck drivers, they were blocking them. Citizens, they were moving out the way, giving directions, to the police officers which way the perpetrator went. The perpetrator went down there. They took a left down there, and it's just something that you can't you can't predict. It's beautiful, of course. It's beautiful, right? The sad part about it is most of these, police chases, the perps were people of color. That's the really sad part about it. And so many times, they'll get people caught up in racism. Okay? And it's like, okay, racism exists, but every race is racist, if you want to say it that way. And the bottom line is, you're talking about a system where people have to make themselves worthy in order to excel with the comforts of life. And typically these people of color are people who, they didn't appreciate the education system. They didn't appreciate, the scholarships and exceptions they received, to give them, more of an advantage, utilizing some of their natural skills, they continuously abuse people and try to siphon energy. Okay.
Please return after 2 p.m. All pharmacy activities, including pickup.
Dang, I forgot all about that. So they close for lunch, which is wild. We're closed for lunch. I mean, it's only wild because it's kind of old-fashioned that they would close for lunch, even though some people will make a pharmacy run on their lunch hour, but they can't because it's lunchtime. Yeah. So that gives me time to at least call up and find out, see if, my prescription is ready. I really did enjoy the ride. I rarely, have just rode around, because I have an electric car. Most of my riding has been purposeful, but today, not so much. I just wanted to ride around, and even though I thought about going out walking, it was like, it's just too many people out here. And so yeah. I hope you liked this video and that it was informative. I always feel like my videos are informative. And I will talk to you later. Bye. I thought I was going to be able to, sign off, but I have some questions. Okay? I have some questions. And I'm going to talk about these questions in a little bit. Let me put my car on charge. Hold on. Yeah, I have questions. Some of the questions that I have is, these unorthodox relationships, right? How much loyalty, how much dedication are you supposed to give someone when they're only giving you sex? Not really a relationship, not really a commitment at all. I want to know, what are the real benefits of just going with someone? Oh, we go together. Right? Even some of them will say, oh, we're soulmates, right? We go together. It's like, yeah, but where is that going? What does that mean? Right? Especially when the typical man, isn't even with the mother of his children. Like I said, he got her while she was young, and you know, left her, told society that she's mentally ill and can't take care of a family. And it's just like, you impregnated a 14-year-old girl and left her with children to take care of a family, and now you're saying that she's not a good mother? Oh my gosh. Okay. Right? So then, you don't want to take care of a woman and some other man's child. So now, you're you think it's no crime to have sex with the whole family? Do you know how mentally ill that is? Right? The pedophilia? The audacity? Okay. So, yeah. How does that make sense that you think we're going to blame the victim? Okay? It doesn't make sense. We don't blame the victim here. Now, we've listened to many of people in the SA, which, well, let's just say it. We've heard a lot of sex workers who are telling their story of the many married men that pay them to have sex. Now, how is it that you expect someone to be loyal to you and you're putting their health, their finances, everything that you built together at risk? Because you're following your lower extremities. What type of loyalty does she, your wife, owe you? Right? All we have to do is hear the testimony of these escorts, these sex workers, and dang, some of them, they might even have you on camera. Why? Because they're pimp. They're pimp. Is trying to make money on the backside. Yeah. Porn industry is a stream of income for them. Now you want the pimp not to make money behind the scenes? What? Okay. Here's another question. So, you felt like it was okay to blame the victim of incest, that they're deranged, right? That they was preyed upon by the very people that was supposed to protect them. You want to blame them for being mentally ill. right? You want them to straighten up and become a productive person in this society when they have no concept of love anymore because they've been victimized by probably their own parent, which is let's keep it real. A lot of men were like, well, you got these women out here that are also being convicted of pedophilia. Well, their pedophilia is different than the pedophilia of a man, right? Where these women have been indoctrinated to follow their man right or wrong, and and they stand by and watch him indulge in incestual behavior. What is she supposed to do? I want to know. Well, she's not supposed to stand by and watch it. She's not supposed to stand by and, well, she may be forced to stand by and watch it, but at the earliest possible convenience, she has to report it. Right? There's no marriage bond that strong that's supposed to exceed the law of the land and natural law of the universe, right? So anyway, those were some of my questions, right? Here's another question. After you devalued, well, after first you demeaned, then you devalued, then you dispossessed, and then you discarded these human beings, where are they supposed to go now? Those are some of my questions. And I'll leave it there. Bye.